Hey you guys, it's Sam. Welcome back to my channel. First things first, I'm filming with some new lighting and microphone setup courtesy of Jamie Page. So if you guys feel like things are better, if you feel like things are worse, you want something fixed, changed, different, whatever, let me know in the comments below just what you guys think about the quality, because I'm still kind of like playing around with it, trying to figure it out. So yeah, with that out of the way, I thought that we could jump into some of my favorite products from 2016. Some of these you will definitely have heard me talking about before. I've tried to include a couple little things that I haven't talked about as much on my channel, but yeah, let's jump into it. Favorite products 2016. Let's go. That's the other thing I forgot to say, is that some of these products might not have actually been from 2016 per se, but I felt like they deserved honorable mention. The first of which is Lumi from Sugar Pill. I've just used this in so many tutorials, and anytime that I'm on Periscope and I'm working through my makeup and I'm like, I feel like I need something else, everyone's like, do Lumi. This is one of the few pigments that I've actually started to kind of work my way through. It's just such a great color. It's something that you can kind of add on top of any look to just add kind of like a little bit of something something. So yeah, I really wanted to mention that, and just, yeah. Okay, let's just be real, you know? Let's just really think about what's going to be included in this, and obviously it's going to be the Modern Renaissance palette. This is Modern Renaissance, it's from Anastasia, and it's just such a good palette. It was one of the palettes this year that I felt, oh god, my finger's caught. It was one of the palettes this year that I felt like just did a really good job of kind of playing on a neutrals palette while still making it different and usable and wearable. There's no color in here that I feel like doesn't work, like they all work together. It's just such a cohesive, gorgeous, neutral palette with a couple different tones in there to make it not so obvious, basically. I really, really love this palette. I've used it a ton this year, and I just would recommend it to anybody, so yeah. Next for eyeshadows, I did really want to include the Tarteist Pro palette. I've been using this palette a ton, and it just honestly is just such a good palette in my opinion. It has a good range of colors. You've got kind of cool tones, warm tones, all pretty neutral, and then you have your little pops of shimmery color over here. To me, this is a palette that I would actually travel with and have traveled with, which is just rare for me. Like, I feel like anytime I get a palette, I'm like, it's great, it's beautiful for like creating certain looks, but it's not right for me personally to travel with because it doesn't have like a highlight color, it doesn't have a deepening shade, or it doesn't have a shimmery color in case I want to add something. Like, this to me just has like a little bit of everything in it. So I've been using this a ton. I really, really like it, and I felt like it needed to be added. The next thing that I wanted to include were the shadows from Cosette. I talked about these a little bit on Periscope, and I might have included them in a tutorial once or twice, but I don't feel like I've been giving them the love and attention they deserve because they're such gorgeous shadows, especially this kind of row right here. They are just so high intensity with shine and pigment, and they're just so beautiful. My only issue with this brand is that they don't have a ton of matte shades just yet, especially you know, kind of like the more neutral sort of like transition shades and such and so forth. Otherwise, I would literally only use these shadows. They're so beautiful. The texture is gorgeous. They don't have a ton of fallout, even though they're like really, really beautiful and shiny and pigmented. I just think they're so great. So yeah, I really wanted to include that for you guys. Moving on from eyeshadow to complexion, I really wanted to include the Anastasia Glow Kit in Sun Dipped. This has been in my favorites. I'm pretty sure I talked about it in one of my other videos as well as a favorites. I can't remember. Anyways, I love this palette. It's beautiful. When I first got it, I think my initial reaction to the darker shades was that I would never use them, and that most people with a lighter skin tone probably wouldn't. However, I have started using them a little bit more. Usually I will kind of put the more kind of bronzy colors almost between my highlight and my contour, just to create even more of a glow. So yeah, I've really, really been loving this. I think the texture is gorgeous. It's really consistent throughout every single shade, which I like, because I find that a lot of highlight palettes that are out right now, they'll have some shades that are like beautiful and shimmery and pearlescent and gorgeous, and then they'll have some shades that are more glittery and chunky almost, and they don't apply as smoothly. I do feel like the consistency is gorgeous throughout all the shades in this palette, which is why it is in my favorites of 2016. Boom. I'm feeling like I'm having to justify this, even though I know that you're here explicitly to watch my favorites, but I'm like, this is why! Urban Decay and Sin, goddamn. It's just so nice. This is such a beautiful highlighter. I just think it's the perfect color. It's not too gold, it's not too pink, it's not too peachy. It's just like this perfect champagne color, and I just really love it a lot. So definitely one of my favorites. The texture of this is so nice. Like, I just feel like it really melts into the skin. It's not something that sits on top. It's not something that looks too glittery and chunky. I also wanted to mention the Cover FX highlight in Moonlight. Same kind of thing. It's a little bit less intense than the Urban Decay, so if you do prefer something that's a little bit more of a kind of natural glow as opposed to a really intense stark highlight, you'll probably prefer the Cover FX one. Same thing, it just kind of melts into the skin. It doesn't look too much, it doesn't look cakey. It's just really, really pretty and gorgeous. So those were two of my favorite kind of little separate highlighters. I haven't found any new blushes. It's so funny, everyone's been asking me like what my favorite blushes are that's come out this year, and I'm such a like just creature of habit when it comes to blush. I cannot get over my like 3 blushes that I love so much that have all been discontinued. But I am trying. So if you guys know any like gorgeous blushes that you've been loving, please let me know in the comments. I always try to find new blushes that I'll love. I'm just so like, I can't move past it. I love my blushes, my Warm Soul, my Wish, my Kat Von D Wish, you know? Goddamn. Anyways, I wanted to talk about this fucking mess of a pan. This is the Becca Perfect Skin Mineral Powder Foundation in Bamboo, so it's not actually meant to be a contour color necessarily, which is why I like it. I know that everybody struggles finding like the perfect kind of like contour color, something that's not gonna look too red, too brown, too this, too that, whatever. I really feel like going with a powder foundation is the most obvious way to get a more natural looking kind of bronzer or contour. So I've been really liking this color in particular, Bamboo. It just works so well. So I've been using that a ton this year. Obviously it's fucking empty. I hate to say this, I really, really do. Oh my God, La Mer. Goddamn, why? I wish it wasn't this way. I really, really do, but it's such a gorgeous foundation. It's like I wish I never bought it. It's just too expensive, but this is a beautiful foundation. I'm sorry, I have my other foundation in my other hand. I'll put it down now. This is a beautiful foundation. It's so gorgeous. It looks so flawless, and I just everything about it, you know what I mean? It's just so nice. It actually has quite good coverage. I thought that it would have a little bit less coverage because it is coming from a skincare brand, and usually it's kind of more about that like glowy, you already have perfect skin, what's the problem? Who needs coverage? But it does have pretty good coverage, and it covers without looking too much. Like, it still looks like skin. The texture of it, the finish is just so beautiful. So I've really, really been liking this a lot. Is it worth the money? Is any foundation worth $140? Sometimes yes. I don't know what to say. Look how sad this foundation is. This is one of my other favorite foundations, and I've picked this up kind of recently as well. I lost the top to it. I'm trying to find it as we speak. This is the Estee Lauder Double Wear Nude. So normally this has like kind of like a cushion sponge on top, which actually I don't like. I kind of like that you can take that off and distribute this hygienically, especially if you're a working makeup artist, but just in general, I would never apply it with the applicator that comes with it. I would always kind of put it onto a palette first and then apply it with either my sponge, my brush, whatever it may be, just because I don't feel like the applicator that it comes with, I fucking wish I could show you so bad, just because the applicator it comes with, I don't feel like does much anyways to apply the foundation. Packaging, not the best. The foundation formula, gorgeous. It's beautiful. It's what I'm wearing right now. I do feel like it has kind of like a nice skin-like finish as well, and it does have pretty good coverage, again, without being too over the top. The only kind of downside for me with this foundation is that I do feel like it settles into my fine lines a little bit. For me personally, I find that I struggle with that with most foundations anyways, so I'm just counting this as a win. There you go. Everyone knows this is coming, so let's just talk about the elephant in the room. Shape tape. Fuck's sake. It's so nice. I know that it's so hard to get your hands on, but it honestly is beautiful. This is the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer. The shades that I've been using the most for people who have been asking are Fair and Light Neutral. I typically will use Fair down the center of my forehead and then along my jawline to not only highlight, but also make the undertone of my foundation match a little bit better. And then I'll usually mix Fair and Light Neutral for underneath my eyes. This concealer is just so nice. Like, it's beautiful. It just applies so beautifully. It almost diminishes your flaws. Like, anytime I look at like the fine lines under my eyes and even the pores underneath my eyes, it just feels like this kind of masks that. It's so bizarre. Like, I honestly can't explain it to you. It's a gorgeous concealer. It has really good coverage. It doesn't feel too cakey on the skin. It's just beautiful. I hate to jump on the bandwagon, but it's beautiful. Fuck's sake. Okay, Kat Von D Lock-It Powder in Translucent, even though it does have a little bit of a color to it. Who the fuck am I? At what point in my life did I ever think that I'd powder my skin? Literally never. As you guys know, I've been having a little bit of issues with my skin over the past few months, and so I started kind of baking my areas where I have acne, just because I think that the powder helps to diminish the texture of it instead of highlighting, you know, the bumpiness and all that kind of stuff. So I have been using powder, and this is the one I've been really, really loving. So yeah, I wanted to include that because who thought I would ever use powder, and I like it, actually. What the fuck, even crazier. Sorry, quickly jumping back to eyes because I forgot that I had these over there. I feel like I'm just kicking myself so much for these because for the longest time I was such a hater bitch about these. These are the Urban Decay Heavy Metal Liners. Guys, I have spent countless years of my life being in Sephora, picking these up, being like, who would spend $20 on these? And like saying that to you guys, being like, don't ever spend $20 on these, it's just glitter. I take it all back. I don't know what to say. I've been using these endlessly this year. They're so nice. I just feel like it's a really quick, easy way to add glitter without having the fallout, without having the mess, without having like glitter falling into your eyes. They just work. They just work. So I use these not so much as a liner, but I actually kind of put them over top of my eyeshadow to add a little bit of glitter to a look. The two ones that I've been using super consistently are Glam Rock, which is the silver, and Midnight Cowboy. Yeah, I really hate to admit it, but these are, I willingly spend $20 on these now. Just is what it is. Okay, on to nude lipstick. I mean, just lipstick. Let's not fuck around. Lancome Juicy Shakers. You know what's up. I've talked about these so many times, I don't even need to say anything about them anymore, but these, if you haven't been watching my channel, if you don't know how obsessed I am with these, let me break it down for you. These are so simple, so beautiful. I just love them. They're just a really nice wash of color. They look very kind of like Victoria's Secret-esque, wet lips kind of situation. I like how they come off during the day when they do kind of start to fade, because obviously it's a glossy product, it will start to come off throughout the day inevitably, but when they come off, it's not like this weird thing where like you have like color here, color there, or like whatever. Like, that's what my beef has been with liquid lipsticks this entire past year, because I know that's been such a huge trend this year, is that you can't reasonably wear liquid lipsticks out and not have them look fucked up at some point. And everybody's kind of consensus to that was like, okay, so we're gonna make them more intense on your lips, which is like almost worse because you're just fucking up your lips. Anyways, I just love these. I think they're so easy to apply. They're so quick to reapply. They look gorgeous when you reapply them. You don't have to reapply them because it's just like your natural lip color underneath. I think they're so beautiful. Lancome Juicy Shakers, they're my fave. My two favorite colors, by the way, Piece of Cake and Mangoes Wild, and I'll wear them together, I'll wear them separate. That was obviously gonna be my 2016 favorites. Glad we got that out of the way. Another obvious one is the NARS Velvet Lip Glides. They're so beautiful, particularly in Stripped and Mineshaft, actually, which is a red. But yeah, these are some of my favorite ones. They're so beautiful. These apply almost a little bit glossier. They do definitely have a shine when you first apply them, but they almost mattify over time. Even if you go to Sephora and you swatch this on your hand, you can see that it applies glossy, and if you tap it out, it goes more matte. It's a really, really interesting formula. They're super comfortable to wear, and again, they fade really nicely. The darker colors do tend to bleed a little bit, so you will want to wear them either in the center of your lip with a lip liner or just, you know, with a lip liner. So be wary of that when you're going for the darker colors, but overall it's just such a beautiful formula. And I feel like these are really different than anything else on the market right now. So that's one product I've really been loving this year. I want to quickly talk about Nude Stick's Lip and Cheek Balm in Pulse. I keep this in my purse all the time because it's just such a beautiful kind of sheer bitten looking nude. It's a little bit of a deeper color than I normally go for with my nude lipsticks, but I kind of like that about it because it does have the sheerness to it. It's just really beautiful. It looks gorgeous on the lips. I don't really use this on my cheeks as much, but I do use this as like an everyday kind of quickly swiping on in the car nude. Not that I do my makeup in the car when I'm driving. This is another one that I want to talk about that I actually haven't talked about with you guys at all, I don't think, but I use it almost every day. This is the Fresh Sugar Cream Lip Treatment in Buff, and it does have a little bit of a color to it. It's what I'm wearing right now on my lips. It's just a really nice, moisturizing feeling kind of tinted lip balm, I would say. It's just beautiful. I wear it when I don't feel like wearing lipstick. It's still kind of tinted. It still has a little bit of color to it, so it doesn't look unfinished necessarily, but it's also just really moisturizing. So I'll typically use this when I need to take a break from things that are like heavily fragranced or anything that kind of like starts to wear on my lips. The Juicy Shakers, for instance, do tend to make my lips flake if I wear them continually over time because they are quite heavily fragranced. So I will kind of like skip to this, which is still like this nice sheer nude kind of color. You see the trend here that's building. But yeah, I will put this on if my lips need a break, especially during the winter. I've been using it a ton because my lips just can't take anything else. They're so dry. So yeah, I really, really love that a lot. I want to talk a little bit about the Charlotte Tilbury lipsticks. Specifically, this one is Kim KW. It's a beautiful, beautiful nude, but all of the textures of her lipsticks are so, so stunning. They just make your lips look so plump and so beautiful, and I just love them so much. It's such a nice texture on your lips. They're not drying. They're very heavily pigmented, so if you do have a problem with nude lips due to the fact that your lips are already quite pigmented, these ones probably will cover it. If you do have a deeper skin tone and you're still looking for a nude, she does have some other shades in that range, so check them out if you're looking for colors that will better suit your skin tone. Last but not least, I want to talk about the MAC Lip Tensity lipsticks. I've just been wearing these a ton. They sent me the whole range, and I've put them in a favorites video already, but I just, yeah, wanted to include them again because I think they're beautiful. Just really pigmented. The texture of them is beautiful. I've always really liked the texture of MAC lipsticks, and these are no different. So yeah, they're just really pigmented. They're creamy, but they do have lasting power as well. They don't seem to bleed too much, and they just have a good range of colors in this particular texture. So yeah, I've just been using them a lot, and wanted to include them in my favorites. That's it. I feel like you guys knew already what it would be, and it was exactly what you thought. Those are my favorites for 2016. I want to know what your top 5 favorite products from 2016 were. Leave it in the comments below. Make sure to like, subscribe. I don't really do this, do I? I guess we'll just leave and come back another time. That'll be my goodbye to you. Okay, bye. Peace out. Hope you learned something cool today. I'm all fucked up. I'm trying to be like a better. Goodbye.